Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm Joe PT, and for today what we have here is an indie game that got a little bit famous by now thanks to Digital Foundry, which is Snake Pass. So Snake Pass was developed by Sumo Digital and it's using Unreal Engine 4. So yes, this is a very demanding game. So as you can see, we are currently playing the game at 1080p with the settings between a mix of high and medium. So as you can see, I try to replicate pretty much the settings on the PS4, but these resolution settings, it required a special tweaking, because the resolution settings is pretty much a resolution scaling technique. And what I mean by resolution scaling is that on very high is on native resolution, on high is 0. It's 87%, on medium is 71%, and on low is 50%. So the PS4 operates with a certain resolution which is equal to the 80% of resolution scaling when you are using 1080p resolution. So I had to go and fetch the file of the configuration of Unreal. So let me try to guess what file is it. Should be this. No, it's not this one. It's not this one too. Okay, it's this one. So through here we can personalize the settings that we saw on the graphic settings, with the exception of these three. I mean, the texture is included too. You can personalize these three last options on the settings menu, but doesn't really affect too much of the performance. But all these that I have now selected you can personalize. But as you can see, I decided to put the resolution scaling to 80 and the game detects it's the eye. So after you change to whatever resolution scaling you want to change, just save the file and start the game, okay? And so this resolution on eye, it was supposed to be 87% of resolution scaling, but I decided to drop to the 80 to match pretty much the PS4 resolution. So yes, we aren't playing at 1080p current. We are not playing at the native 1080p, just like the PS4, because yes, this game is very demanding. And you could say, okay, but you could just lower all the settings to the median. Well, I could, but the problem is the graphics gets a lot affected in quality. And the resolution on median is equal to 71%, which is something close to 720p, and who the hell wants to play with 720p in a 1080p screen, right? So with that, I'm going to let you enjoy a little bit of the gameplay. This game, I decided to do it not only because of Digital Foundry had made it, but because I think it's an indie game that it's different from many others. You know, I like to try games that don't follow the rules of the other games, and I never saw a game like this in years. I mean, if ever existed. So this is really something new, and I thought it would be nice to benchmark it and show it to the world. What game is this anyway? So I played the first two missions, so hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. And by the way, if you want to check the results without recording, you can find it on the description of the video or in the end of it, okay? And by the way, I didn't use it this time AMD Relive to record, because it didn't want to record this Unreal Engine 4 title in full screen, so I had to use Msi Afterburner, which should take a little bit higher impact in the frame rate than AMD Radeon Relive. Okay, so thank you a lot for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Whoa.
Hello boys and girls, welcome to the performance section of the video. So this was the results that I gathered without recording on the Paradise Path, which was the first map. It is much less demanding than the second one. And as you can see, all the settings provides an average above the 30s. The very high or maximum settings is the only settings that gone lower than 30 FPS. So when I started to benchmark this game, I was very happy to see this. I was very happy to notice that I was able to play above 30 FPS in the high settings, which was above the PS4. Keep in mind that the HD 7850 is very similar to the PS4 GPU, so I was happy. It seems that the game was better optimized on the PC, but bam! On the second level, the courtyard clamber, the things changed, and so the high settings no longer sustained a 30 FPS experience. The median settings do provide that ability, but again, like I told you on the very beginning of the video, playing with a resolution close to 720p is not for me, really. So I decided to go and tweak those things that you saw with the PS4 console style settings, which is pretty much on high, shadows on median, and resolution scaling set to 80. This is the most close that I could get to the PS4 settings, but either way we got better vegetation, because vegetation on PS4 is a little bit dumbed down comparing to the PC settings, and we can't really adjust it. There was an option on the config file that could enable us to change the vegetation quality, but in fact I didn't notice any difference in quality, and what it seems is that the PS4 have less density of vegetation, to a point that even Nintendo Switch have more vegetation. So that's pretty much it. PS4 console style for me was the best option to go, despite not being a native 1080p. The game uses 1.2 GB of VRAM, so I think that if you have 1 GB of VRAM graphic card, shouldn't be a problem. If you have 4 GB of RAM, shouldn't be a problem too, because the game was only using 3.1 GB of RAM. CPU usage, this game, despite having a lot of physics going on with the snake and the grass, it seems that the CPU is just fine with this game. The game just uses 20 to 30% of CPU, and I never saw any single drop on the GPU usage, so it was completely maxed out. The only drops I saw on GPU usage was with the low settings, because the low settings was providing the 60 FPS experience, and the game have a VSync forced, so it's normal that the GPU usage drops a little. But that's pretty much it. So that's all that I want to talk about Snake Pass, also known as Snake Simulator. Hope you did enjoy the video, and if you have any question about anything, just leave on the comment section of the video. So again, thank you a lot for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.